Good morning. I am Purnima, and this I'm going to continue with the part two, the Shahnai of Bismillah Khan from the Sound of Music. As I've already told you that Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of a musical instrument called Pungai because of its unpleasant, shrill, and unpleasant sound. Then a pipe barber was there, and he chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem. It was longer and broader than the pungai, and then he played it, closing and opening some of these holes, and finally he was able to produce soft and melodious sound. Here the difference between, I told you, as you can see here, the difference between pungai and Shahnai. This is Pungai and this is Shahnai. I also told you then after that, for the first time, since it was played in Shah chamber and it was created by a Nai, that is barber, so the name of the instrument was known as Shahnai. You can see here. The sound of the Shahnai, it used to be considered as auspicious. It was played during the time of wedding and in the temple. The Shahnai was part of the Nawab, the traditional ensemble of 9 instruments found at Rawalkot. But the credit goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan, because till now it was only played in Indian wedding and inside the temple or near the temple. But he took that instrument, that is Shahnai, onto the classical stage. And a 5-year-old boy, he was playing gilli danda near the pond in the ancient state of Dumrao, I told you. And there he was a good singer. He used to go to the Bihariji temple to sing Bhojpuri Chaitya. And finally, at the end, he used to get laddu of 1.25 kg by the local Maharaja. Now, this little boy, he had bought the musical instrument Shahnai into the classical stage, and he got the award. He was honored with the award of Bharat Ratna. Now, he was born, Ustad Bismillah Khan was born on 21st March 1916 from a very well-known family of musicians. They belong from Bihar. His grandfather Rasul Bakhsh Khan was the Shahnai Nawaz of the Bhojpur King's Court. Even his father, even he was very famous, Paigambar Bakhsh. He was also a very great Shahnai player. Now, I also told you that at a very early age, his mother took him to Varanasi, and there he used to watch his uncle playing Shahnai. The name of his uncle was Ali Bakhsh. He used to play Shahnai in the Vishnu temple of Varanasi. And from there, whenever he used to sit with his uncle, he used to listen and see in a very curious manner. He used to see him how he is playing Shahnai. Slowly, he also started getting lessons in playing the instrument. The child Bismillah Khan, he would sit and practice Shahnai throughout the day. And sometimes he used to sing in the temple of Mangla Maya, though he was a Muslim child, but he used to go to temple there, and sometime at the banks of the Ganga. Okay, and he used to feel very comfortable in these two places. And he used to feel, in fact, motivated. He used to feel motivated at the bank of river Ganga. He was apprenticed, that means he was taking training under his uncle, and afterward he used to practice in solitude. Solitude means in loneliness. He used to go somewhere in loneliness, and there he used to practice it. And at that time, he used to go to the bank of the Ganga. The flowing water of Ganga inspired him to improvise and invent ragas that were earlier considered to be beyond the range of the Shehnai. Now I will be started explaining you from here. From here, as you can see, at the age of 14, Bismillah accompanied his uncle to the Allahabad Music Conference. When he was 14 years of age, he went to Allahabad Music Conference with his uncle. At the end of his recital, Ustad Fayaz Khan patted the young boy back and said, "Work hard and you shall make it." Now, he also had a chance to play Shehnai there. He played it on the stage in the Allahabad Musical Conference, and he played it very well. Many people were fascinated by the playing when they heard his Shehnai. He was too young. He was only 14-year-old child. And when the function was over, Ustad Fayaz Khan, he himself come to the child and he patted his back. He only gave his blessing by saying, "Work hard and you shall make it." With the opening of the All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938 came Bismillah's big break. Now in the second most important thing in the life of Bismillah Khan, when in 1938 All India Radio had started in Lucknow. He was called to play the Shehnai. It was soon became an offer Shehnai on radio, and often he was called to All India Radio to play Shehnai. When India gained independence, now the third big break in his life came when our country was independent, when we got independence on 15 August 1947. Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to greet the nation with his Shehnai. So the first thing after flag hoisting, he was told to play the Shehnai. Now, as I told you that Shehnai is a musical instrument which used to be considered auspicious in our country. So, as soon as flag hosting was over, Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to greet the nation with his Shehnai. He poured his heart out into Rag Kafi from the Red Fort to an audience which included Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who later gave his famous Tourist with Destiny. Tourist with Destiny speech. Now, so there he when on 15 August 1947, when he got a chance to play the Shehnai in front of audience, there such great audience were sitting like Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and he had poured from his bottom of the heart a nice rag that was known as Rag Kafi from the Red Fort to an audience. Bismillah Khan has given many memorable performances both in India and abroad. Now, not only in India but abroad also, he was called and he had given many performances. His first trip abroad was to Afghanistan. Now, first time international trip he was called to Afghanistan, where King Zahir Shah was so taken in by the Masroor that he gifted him priceless Persian carpets and other souvenirs. Now, at that time, King Zahir Shah, he was the king of Afghanistan, and he was so much impressed by his Shehnai that he gave him Persian carpets and many other souvenirs. The king of Afghanistan, so he was gifted by many souvenirs. The king of Afghanistan was not the only one to be fascinated with Bismillah music. Film director Vijay Bhatt was so impressed after hearing Bismillah play at a festival that he named a film after the instrument called Gooj Uthi Shehnai. Now, in Bollywood, there was a lot of demand for Bismillah Khan in Bollywood also. Film director Vijay Bhatt, he was so impressed that he had made a film after his instrument Gooj Uthi Shehnai. Now, the film was a hit, and one of Bismillah Khan's composition, Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya, this was a composition, this was a song prepared by Bismillah Khan that was also played in that film. Turned out to be a nationwide chartbuster. Chartbuster means that song broke the record of many songs. Despite this huge success in the celluloid world, Bismillah Khan ventures in film music were limited into two. Vijay Bhatt Gooj Uthi Shehnai and Vikram Srinivasa's Kannada venture Sanadhi Apna. Now, two directors hired him to play music in his film. So first was Vijay Bhatt, who had offered him to play the film music in Gooj Uthi Shehnai, and the other was Vikram Srinivas of the Kannada venture. He gave him a break in Sanadhi Appanna. I just can't come to terms with the artificiality and glamour of the film world, he says with emphasis. But Bismillah Khan, he did not like to work in Bollywood. He felt this is a glamorous world not for him. He felt the artificiality and glamorous in the film world, and he decided not to work in Bollywood. Awards and recognition came thick and fast. A lot of awards he had won. He got a identification all over the world. He got many prizes. He was honored with many awards. Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to be invited to perform at the prestigious Lincoln Center Hall in the United States of America. So he was not, he was not only famous in India, but he became a world famous figure. He was a celebrity, and finally one day he became the first Indian, for the first time in India, first Indian to be invited to perform at the prestigious Lincoln Center Hall. So for the first time any Indian was invited in the prestigious Lincoln Center Hall in the United States of America to perform his Shehnai. He also took part in art festival and in the Osaka trade fair. Now from America he also took part in in the World Exposition in Montreal. So he went to the World Exposition in Montreal, in the Cannes Art Festival, and in the Osaka Trade Fair. So this you have to remember all this, these name. Sowell Auditorium in Tehran was named after him. Tahar Mosque, Ustad Bismillah Khan. Now he was also invited in Tehran, and a whole auditorium was named after him. He was given such a nice honor that his name was kept to an auditorium. And what was the name which was kept? Tahar Mosque, Ustad Bismillah Khan. National awards like the Padma Shri, the Padma Bhushan and the Padma Vibhushan were conferred on him. Conferred means given. So he was given the award. Which award he got? This is also very important. He got the national awards like the Padma Shri, the Padma Bhushan and the Padma Vibhushan. See, Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan and Padma Vibhushan. So he was honored with such high awards. In 2001, Ustad Bismillah Khan was awarded India's highest civilian award. And he was also in 2001, he was awarded the highest civilian award in India, the Bharat Ratna. So this is important. In 2001, he received the highest civilian award, the Bharat Ratna. With the coveted award resting on his chest and his eyes glinting with rare happiness, he was really happy at that time when he got the award Bharat Ratna. He said, "All I would like to say is, teach your children music, This is Hindustan's richest tradition. Even in the West is now coming to learn our music. Now, children, all he could say, he could only gave a message to promote Indian music. He told them to teach your children music. But which music? Indian music, Indian classical music. This is Hindustan's richest tradition. He told that our music, it is one of the richest tradition in our country. Even the West is now coming to learn our music. He's telling even the people from the Western countries also, even they are coming to learn our Indian classical music. In spite of having traveled all over the world, Khan Sahib, as he is fondly called, is exceedingly fond of Banaras and Dumrao. Now he had traveled a lot of places in the world. He had got invitation from the king of Afghanistan. He had gone to Montreal. He had been to USA. He had been to many places in the world. But the place which he really likes to live was Varanasi and Dumrao, and they remain for him the most wonderful towns of the world. And these two towns, Varanasi and Dumrao, according to him, were the most wonderful towns of the world. A student of his once wanted him to head a Shehnai school in the USA. Now this is a very nice incident which he had shared with all of you, that one of his student, he was in United States of America. He went there and he told Bismillah Khan that he invited him to become a teacher, Shehnai teacher in USA, to teach the students of USA Shehnai. And the student promised to recreate the atmosphere of Banaras by replicating the temples there. Now he knew Bismillah Khan loved Varanasi, and actually he was most of the time he was living in Varanasi only. So he told ki I will also create such an atmosphere. I will create artificial temple. What temples are there in Varanasi? I will create those temples also for you. Now, replicating means duplicating. That means how many temples are there in Varanasi? That whole temple you will find in USA. And the student promised to recreate the atmosphere of Banaras by replicating the temples there. So replicating means here duplicating. Here. You can see here replicating, you can see it here. Replicating means duplicating. So, but Khan Sahib, and he was known by the nickname Khan Sahib. Nobody used to tell him, just to give him respect, people used to call him Khan Sahib. So, but Khan Sahib asked if he would be able to transport river Ganga as well. So he told his student, okay, temple you will be replicating it, but can you able to transport river Ganga also? Later he is remembered to have said, that is why whenever I am in a foreign country, I keep yearning to see Hindustan. And that is the reason whenever he goes for a stage show in the foreign country, he really wanted to see his own country, his Hindustan. While in Mumbai, I think of only Banaras and the Holy Ganga. When he often used to go to Mumbai to give his stage show. There also he used to remember Varanasi and the Holy Ganga. And while in Banaras, I miss the unique mutt of Dumrao. And when he used to be in Varanasi, he used to miss the unique mutt of Dumrao. Ustad Bismillah Khan's life is a perfect example of the rich cultural heritage of India. So you can see how that Khan Sahab, he has devoted his whole life to his country, where he used to say there is a rich cultural heritage of India. He gave emphasis on to play Indian classical music, and one that effortlessly, though he was a Muslim fellow, but he loved the place inside the temples, and he practiced at the bank of the river Ganga. So Ustad Bismillah Khan's life is a perfect example of the rich cultural heritage of India, one that effortlessly accepts that a devout Muslim like him can very naturally play the Shehnai every morning at the Kashi Vishwanath temple. One more thing is there, that when in Kashi Vishwanath temple in the morning, every day he used to go to play Shehnai. So though he was a Muslim, but he, by the God grace, he was invited to the temple to present at all the important occasion of India, like when our country got independent, when All India Radio came into existence. So these were some unique incident in his life where he was invited as a celebrity to present his musical work. Ustad Bismillah Khan passed away on 21st August 2006. So he died on 21st August 2006 at the age of 90 after a prolonged illness. So he was at the age of 90 he died. He was ill for a long time, and finally he left for the heavenly abode. He was given a state funeral, and the government of India declared one day of national mourning. Now such homage was given to him by the government of our country, that one day holiday, one day government declare one day of national mourning. It is mourning. Mourning means sad incident. Mourning means something sad has happened. So with this I complete the lesson, and now you will see, now you read both the lesson. The first part is about Evelyn Glennie. Evelyn Glennie was also very interested in music, and I told you she was a deaf girl. At the age of 17 she rose to the peak. She was a person who, in spite of being a deaf, she used to present her performance in a solo manner. She was given alone chance to prepare on the stage. And you can see Bismillah Khan, when he was only 5 to 6 years old, he used to go to his uncle's house. He was living, and he used to watch his uncle practicing Shehnai. And then after seeing his uncle playing Shehnai, he used to come and practice for hours. In fact, at that time only he was very much dedicated and devoted to music. He used to practice whole day sometime, and he got the reward when he went to attend musical conference at Allahabad. So there is a lot of similarity also, that both the child, Ustad Bismillah Khan and Evelyn Glennie, when they were too young, when they were too small, from that day they were practicing, and they have worked so hard with full of determination and courage that they had reached to the height. So where there is a will, there is a way. This is the motto which suits both Evelyn Glennie and Ustad Bismillah Khan. So you can see how, if you really want to do something in your life, nobody can stop you to achieve that thing. This is the message of the lesson. If you want to do something in the life, nobody is going to stop you. With hard work, with lot of dedication, with lot of devotion, you can achieve your goal. As you can see with Evelyn Glennie, a deaf child, a deaf girl, a very small girl from the Scottish form, rural background, she went to attend the Royal Academy School at London. There the teacher, I told you, they discouraged her. They told she cannot learn music as she is deaf. Only one person who, like a godfather, he came and supported her, Ron Forbes. He told she can learn, she can feel music through the parts of body. No need to hear through her ear only. And this word was enough, this support was enough for Evelyn Glennie. Similarly with Bismillah Khan, though his father and grandfather, they were very good Shehnai player, but actually he learned Shehnai from his uncle. He was very much dedicated. Whole day he used to go to the temple or he used to go to the bank of river Ganga, and there he became perfectionist. He played with whole of his heart and slow. So the message of the lesson is, where there is a way, there is a will. Whatever you want to achieve, you will definitely achieve it if you are really working hard and with all your dedication. Nobody can stop you to achieve your goal. With this, I complete this lesson. Thank you and have a nice day. At the same time, read the books. Read the books. Try to, whatever I've explained to you in all my 3 videos, please go through those videos. Try to learn the meaning of the new words. So with this, I end my video. Bye bye.